Hi folks, Lee Gettess here with the market sense for the week of June 12th, 2018. The charts I stare at all day and that are in this presentation come to us from the Trade Navigator software. And we're looking at a weekly bond market chart here, and there's not much happened so far this week, and this is kind of predictable because, well, this is one of my least favorite weeks. We get them every 6 weeks. It's during the Fed meeting, and there's a bunch of nervousness and not much of anything goes on until the Fed meeting adjourns, and then sometimes all hell breaks loose. What we are looking at here are really two potential areas. We've got resistance up here around 144.12 and support down here around 141.16. And nothing that happens in the middle until they get to either of those areas mean much. Now, I'm not sure they will get to any of those areas. It kind of depends on what's contained in the Fed statement. And I think that's the critical point this week. They expect the Fed to raise rates, which they will do on Wednesday afternoon. Whether they do or not may not be as important as what they say in the statement afterwards, which is kind of forward-looking and looks like what they're going to do with interest rates going forward. But no telling if there'll be enough jolt to the market there to get them any place. I mean, I think everybody expects the 1 point raise and that they're going to raise again before the year's out, but they sometimes use it as an excuse to do something wild anyway. But there's really nothing I can hang my hat on unless they get up to 144.12 or down to 141.15. Anything in between just doesn't mean a whole lot to me, I'm afraid. The stock proxy here in the E-mini futures is interesting. Since back here they have really trended up nicely, but they're trending up nicely within this sideways pattern, which is within this sideways pattern. They've kind of been that way all year. We were kind of looking for support possibly to come in around 27.56. If they could hold this upper moving average here, that would have looked pretty good and pretty bullish. But they haven't even come close to that. They're just continuing up anyway. You have this sort of what I'd call a reverse exhaustion bar. They don't really exhaust to the upside as easy as they do the downside. But you have that bar there, and if they can hold this as support, then that's just an expression of energy, and they could really be trending up. But at the same time, we've got resistance around 2800, which is not too far in front of this old swing high here at 2810. And they haven't gotten there yet. Guess why? Of course, the Fed meeting. I should mention there's a lot of focus in the media on the quote-unquote summit between North Korea and the U.S., and the markets just don't care. There's nothing about that summit that's going to have any impact on the market unless they declare war on each other. That would be bad. But short of that, I just don't think there's anything that matters to the markets there. It's not going to impact companies to any great degree till well down the road, if ever. So that's just not an impact. But the Fed, yes, the Fed is. The FOMC meeting will adjourn Wednesday afternoon, and whatever they're going to do, they're going to do then. If they dislike anything in the Fed statement, we've got 2736 down here at the middle moving average, and even below 2700 down here around, I think it's 2696, just below 2700 anyway. Those are very possible. None of those would look horrible. It would still look like part of the same pattern, so that's very possible. But for now, well, they look like they're showing follow-through to the move they started last week. Didn't go to support, haven't been to resistance, so we just got to wait and see if there's more reaction to the Fed, which there almost always is. In fact, I should point out there's always two reactions. They react immediately Wednesday afternoon, and then it's like they have time to think about it overnight, and they react again Thursday morning, which may or may not be a reaction in the same direction. So need to watch out for that. So that's what we've got for you today. I hope you can find something profitable